We know that in Universe 9 of Dragon Ball Multiverse, Goku never became the benevolent hero we know him as today. Instead, it was up to the humans to defend our planet from whatever threat would come. Eventually, this led to Yamcha becoming an android, Trunks becoming a full-blooded human, and Krillin becoming the master of the Turtle School. On Earth, September 10th, year 749. In Universes 3 and 9, Bulma, Son Gohan, and Yamcha met while searching for the Dragon Balls. And now, they all live at Capsule Corp together. Refer to Chapter 69 to expand on this, or check out Part 59 of this video series. In Universe 13, a demon child is still killing people. But far away from all this, near the peaceful island which hosts Kame House, a young man is seeking a master. Following similar motions as the original series, Krillin presents his would-be master with some particular qualities that really impress him. But he should know that he doesn't usually take on pupils. If he wants to become one, he will have to achieve a task for him, which the youngster has no problem blindly agreeing to. He heads back out to sea chanting a jaunty tune. Fetching an energetic young sexy girl for my master. Oh wait, is he preparing a kidnapping? Is his new master a paleontologist and making him his accomplice? No. He's sure the two of them are going to be the perfect role models for all the young raiders out there. Although, having just rowed all the way there to the island, he can't believe that he has to cross the entire ocean again. He'll never find a girl out here. Sure enough, a mermaid pops out of the water. Looks like something conked her on the head and caused her to lose consciousness. Pulling her aboard, the boy questions if she's okay, but she's unable to even form a proper sentence. Throwing a look in his eye, Krillin promises to take her to a doctor. Moments later, he calls out to his master that he's back, who himself is already suited up for his date. He's surprised he's returned so soon. He whips outside to see the mermaid, now alive and well for the mysterious bump on her head. He quickly and excitedly approaches her to ask how she's doing. And alive and well may have been a bit of an overstatement, as her head actually hurts a lot. The boy at least has the foresight to let Roshi know what's going on. He told her that he could heal her. So Kame House MD moves in to examine her closely. What she needs is freaking Masahide Chichis. Getting about what he deserves. The old-timer remains undeterred. He proudly informs that his training is notoriously very hard. He will have to find another voluptuous girl. But there's only water around them. How the heck are they gonna do that? Leveling with them, that is true. It will take another approach. He suggests that they go to the city. He will show them the ways of a true pickup artist. Unleashing his airboat, inflatable raft, complete with an unnecessary helm, an exposed serpentine pulley for the fan, I think, overweight anchor, and what appears to be a gaudy exhaust pipe from a hot rod. And a backwards jet engine? Then again, this entrance could work as the air intake and the housing narrows to a point to allow a more controlled propelling jet, since of course the accompanying craft isn't intended for air travel. Though I'm not sure if such a compact design would allow for the necessary devices to guarantee proper ignition and execution within the combustion chamber. It would leave the engine more or less just an expensive and really dangerous blowtorch. And an old school speaker system. In all fairness, Roshi even admits that the first step to impress a girl is with a flashy and expensive ride. However, his wannabe student doesn't think this is it. The second step is to dress like an impressive gentleman. Though again, Krillin doesn't feel the same. But thinking he has a theory. The master must be so good at picking up girls. He gives himself a handicap like this stupid raft in these hokey clothes. Something I gotta disagree with. Now I wear a hoodie and gym shorts almost every day of the year, but you can't hate on a nice suit. And while the raft may be distinguished, I'd still rock it every single day. Coming ashore, the gang attaches the craft to a dock and happily rush in to land. The old-timer is convinced that this city will be good. Getting a look. Oh my. Oh my. Popeye. Krillin just knows this place is perfect. They'll surely find a girl for Master here, and then they can start the real training. However, the turtle hermit immediately takes the wind out of his protege's sail. He informs that they won't be going to the beach. It's too crowded. Also, albeit keeping this part to himself, he's sort of not allowed there anymore. He concludes that they'll talk to girls sitting in cafes, parks, or walking on the street. It's well known that girls love to be interrupted by passing strangers completely unprovoked. It's also considered romantic to catcall them with ridiculous and generic pet names. And this plan went about as expected. Running up to yet another woman, he still hasn't lost an ounce of resolve. Or learned to talk better? He jubilantly shouts, "Hello, Miss Perky Bum!" Who actually responds a bit more polite than deserved. Maybe even knocking the old man down a peg if he had any shame. "Yes, old man? You need help crossing the street?" Then, as one could guess, he does something likely illegal, causing her to shout for the police. Although they could have easily overpowered the authorities, they comply and are put in a cell. The guard yells that they'll stay in here until they've learned some respect. Well, it was about this time Krillin started to get suspicious. Maybe this isn't the proper way to pick up ladies. After all, they haven't even gotten the slightest positive response since arriving here. But Roshi doesn't understand. Back in his day, they didn't ask girls for their opinions. And when exactly was his day? About 300 years ago? Why does he ask? Which actually makes a lot of sense canonically if you think about it. Roshi is older than the sand on his island. It doesn't excuse his routinely less than gentlemanly behavior, but it does at least make a lot more sense. Just then, a group of cops roll in as excited as ever. One shouts, "Good news! We got launch at last!" The secretary is just as happy as the officer appears to be. Looking in close, and what we already know about her, it's pretty obvious why she went so peacefully. The clerk's smile quickly turns sour as she informs that there's a pervert in one of the cells. Be sure to put her in the other. Which, good looking out for the inmates. As he walks in to examine the arrestees. In one area, a sad young boy and feeble old man. The other, a spike hair man and a literal warthog. Though, as we all know, looks can be deceiving. It turns out that the Hogman is only in for tax fraud, but the buff dude committed one of the worst sins of mankind. Maybe Launch is better off with the pervy old man. Wouldn't take long before night fell over the mainland. It seems Roshi made his attempt at doing a little sweet talking. A still handcuffed Launch summarizes the Arnie spun. She wants to confirm that he's telling her that she could just go live with him in a quiet place away from the city? She thinks that would be the best option for her. She'll go with him. Yes! They did it! They did it, boy! Although the girl looks on a bit bemused, Krillin sees the situation a little differently than reality. He thinks the only reason the master is so happy is because he finally gets to be his official pupil. Gazing outward to the full moon outside, which means absolutely nothing on a planet bereft of Saiyan life. Launch is afraid that they will only be able to achieve this proposed life after years of prison. While she may or may not remember exactly why she's here, it's pretty clear she's at least aware of her other self's actions. And that's all? Simple problems with simple solutions. What's a little prison escape when you're the strongest man in the world? Snapping her cuffs with the slightest of pulls, Kame-sen grabs the bars blocking their path to freedom, nonchalantly uttering, "Time to elope." He effortlessly makes a new doorway for the cell, but the tax fraud and scumbag call after him. Heavens, good sirs, you can't do that. This is public property. Their tax dollars paid for this. The other echoing, "Yeah, where's the respect?" The trio don't waste any time dragging their feet and quickly make their way back to the water. Krillin suggests that maybe they could go through the sewers to go better unnoticed. Orochi squabbles that he's not that kind of martial arts turtle. They get to the dock without any ensuing drama. First, the master ushers Launch onto the craft. The pair needlessly catch their breath on the dock. The old man whispers to his pupil that he thinks she likes him. But at least at the moment, she's more focused on how cold the night has gotten. Instead of hopping on also, the former takes his time boasting to Krillin how the ways of a gentleman. As a familiar sneeze screams out over the ocean. With that powerful sneeze. The bandit evildoer launch has returned. Takes no delay in stealing their boat, cackling into the darkness. Adios, losers! Leaving him high and dry, the two are instantly surrounded by the local authorities. They demand the pair surrender as they're being arrested for breach of moral standards and vandalism. Which sounds a lot better than a charge of destruction of a government building and aiding and abetting and other laws I'm not educated enough to know. Alas, Kami-sen and KRILLIN go quietly and were sentenced to only 2 months of community service. Now wearing his mentor's heavy shell, he questions why he has to wear this thing and do all the work. But thinking quick, the old man tells the boy that this is his training. His introduction into the turtle school begins now. Which actually isn't a bad excuse. He'll have to remember that one for the future.